All right, welcome to the stock market update. Today is Friday, June the 3rd. Happy afternoon from Germany, and we have a lot to talk about. So yesterday, stocks finished higher. The VIX actually hit its lowest level in a month. So, what's going on there? But today we have the all-important jobs report, and what's happening there? Earlier this morning, Elon Musk said that he wants his executive team to fire 10% of the workforce. So is this only Tesla or is this widespread? We will take a look at this. We will see how the markets are reacting. We'll talk to you about how we trade this jobs report and also show you how to place a 90% profit-taking order. So lots to talk about today. So good to be here. If this is your first time here, I'm Markus Heitkoetter. This is my head coach, Markus, and together we have more than 47 years of trading experience. And every morning we sift through a mountain of newsletters, websites, and reports, and then we take the most important news and go live right here to share with you what you need to know as you head into your trading day. If this is your first time here, I know it can be a little bit overwhelming, but don't worry, we have a special video just for you that I'll link to in the description, and that's a great place to get started. All right, so this is our last live one from here and the last one from Germany, because next week we're both traveling. So next week, we will not do a stock market update, but we will be back, and it has been a blast. Yeah. We got a lot of presents here. I just see original Sachertorte from Vienna.
So good, so good.
Yeah, oops. We got some more great sweets. We got these.
Those were awesome.
From Jordan. These were awesome. And you just got one more present. You didn't unpack it yet. So this is from Heidi from Canada.
Oh, wonderful.
Unpack it.
Okay. What? Might as well.
All right, and then we'll talk about trading in the markets. It's really cool.
Like the wrapping? I like it when it's easy.
Right? I think it's perfect for us, especially for the show.
Let's see. Dear Coffee, you're the first thing I think of when I wake up. I love you so much. And for anybody that knows me, that is absolutely true. I love my wife, but coffee is great in the morning for me as well.
Fantastic. All right, so let's see of what is happening here in the markets. And yesterday, after 2 days where we had down days, so we had a 2-day losing streak, but yesterday snapping it. And if you look at a 5-minute chart here of the S&P, it was basically diddling around and then up and away. Strong rally into the close.
Yeah, that first hour or so, just chopping around, and it looked like we weren't going to see much, but then just basically a shot straight higher, finishing at session highs. A pretty decent move going into today, which we have a big report. So I was a little caught off guard by that huge rally.
Yeah, because usually what we see on days like this is that the markets are rather diddling around, going up a little bit, down a little bit. I would have expected something more along these lines that we had on Wednesday. Or maybe even something like this that we had on Tuesday. That is actually a surprising move. Nothing really that sparked it. I think it was the hope going in today. And this is where the VIX yesterday dropped to its lowest level in a while, because yesterday we were finishing at around 24.5. And we haven't seen this since May 1st. And before this, it was end of April. So as you can see, going down here. So the uncertainty, the fear is gone?
At least yesterday, I think that those are reasonable levels. We've talked about the 30 level being more of an extreme. At 25, still elevated, but if this is a sign to come, volatility slowly tapering off. Although a little more volatility this morning.
Yeah. So, but also let's take a look at a weekly chart, because right now the S&P looks like, if we can hold on to these gains, that we have another winning week. So this would be the second one.
Back to back.
Pretty much same here for the Nasdaq and also for the Dow. And the Dow came off 8 losing weeks in a row, the longest streak since 1923. That's in 99 years. So looking good thus far. But then we have the all-important jobs report. But before we talk about this, there were news this morning from Tesla. And this came right before this jobs report.
Yeah, just kind of out of the blue. Tesla shares down pre-market after a report saying that Elon Musk sent out an internal memo saying that he wants to cut 10% of their jobs for the automaker, saying that he has a super bad feeling about the economy. And you know it's from Elon Musk if it says super bad.
Right. So, and this is where going into the jobs report, the question is, okay, is this actually representative of what other employers are thinking? Because we have heard over the past few weeks that quite a few employers are actually putting on a hiring freeze.
Yes.
The latest to join was Coinbase that also said, okay, we're putting on a hiring freeze. And we had a bunch of companies already saying this. And that's kind of where, okay, is the economy slowing down here? This is why this morning the jobs report, really, everybody was on pins and needles. And let's take a look at what happened.
Sure. Jobs report actually coming out much better than expected. 390,000 non-farm jobs added versus a 325,000 expectation. Lower than the previous month with 436, but much better than expected. And this is in contrast to the private payrolls numbers that we had yesterday, which was it showed a slowdown.
Right. So this is great. Also, the unemployment rate still holding steady at 3.6%. It was expected that it goes a little bit lower, but 3.6%, that's pretty historic. We haven't had that low unemployment since 1969. I mean, well, I was born in 1969, so that's 53 years.
Maybe it explains your birth.
There you go. So, I mean, these are actually really strong numbers. Also, I mean, the Fed is always concerned that the average hourly earnings start increasing. And everybody thought, okay, with inflation going on, that we will see an increase in average hourly earnings. But no, holding steady at the same level as last month. So, I mean, overall, this sounds like really good news from the jobs market.
I would say that for what traders are wanting, this is a solid report for sure.
But let's see how the markets reacted to this. So if you're looking here at the E-mini Nasdaq and the 5-minute chart, then we see that, okay, markets were nervous going into the jobs report. So the gains from yesterday, if you just look at this, the gains were pretty much almost erased this morning going into the jobs report. And then here is the reaction to the jobs report. So at first, like, yay, the economy is still strong. And then, oh, wait, this has some implications.
Yes, and I mean, this is where we continue to struggle with good news being bad news and bad news being good news when we take the Fed into consideration and what they might do. So, a little back and forth there, and still very indecisive after dipping even more before what we see right now. That's because the Fed pausing their rate hikes after the June-July meeting is really unlikely with such a strong jobs number, where if everything was pointing to jobs slowing down, potentially having an impact on the economy, the Fed could potentially slow down rate hikes because of inflation in the economy.
And this is why we always say trade what you see, not what you think, because when you think about it, good employment numbers should actually push the market higher. But then, as we see here, at first the reaction lower, and the reason is because it pushed interest rates higher. Look at this. So the 10-year yield jumping from 2.92 to 2.98, so that's a solid jump of 2.3% here. Because as you said, now traders say, well, if the economy is strong, Fed still needs to get inflation under control, so they will keep continuing hiking rates.
Yeah.
And this is where we can go back and take a look here at what traders are expecting. I mean, it's almost certain that they're raising it 0.5 percentage point in the next meeting. But let's take a look here over the next few meetings. So 0.5 percentage point factored in for the next meeting in June, 0.5 percentage point factored in for the meeting in July. And this here now has changed because basically in September, everybody was expecting that now the Fed is actually slowing down. And then we saw also just a week ago that pretty much from December on, everybody expected the Fed to stop raising interest rates. And this now a completely different picture because the Fed has this dual mandate of being concerned about the unemployment market, but also about inflation. And this morning's unemployment report shows there's nothing to be concerned about just yet. Yes, we hear about the hiring freezes, but looking at last month's numbers, they're still going strong.
It's a slippery slope between a strong economy and high inflation right now. So hard to balance that, but you're right. With what we're seeing with the probabilities with the Fed Watch tool, traders are expecting that the Fed's just going to continue to raise rates.
All right. So we'll show you in a moment of how we trade this market and also how to place a 90% profit taking order. But I also want to talk about crude oil real quick because we had the OPEC meeting, and during the OPEC meeting, the oil producing exporting countries basically said, yes, we will raise production. And usually when they do it, I mean, crude oil should fall. But this morning, crude oil still marching higher.
Yeah, interesting to see. They decided to raise production by 648,000 barrels a day in both July and August. This compares to 432,000 barrels each month, which was the earlier plan. And normally you have more supply, and that would bring the prices down compared to the demand, but not this time around.
Yeah, because it's nothing. I mean, that's a drop in a bucket. I mean, this is, if you think about it, the Russia oil production right now is already down by 1 million barrels. So this is not even compensating for this. And it's expected that the Russia oil production is even getting lower, lowering by 2 to 3 million barrels per day. So the 648 is nothing. And this is why we see crude oil still marching higher here.
Sure. You also had brought up that OPEC members, except for Saudi Arabia and the UAE, are already pumping at capacity as well.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about profit-taking orders and how we trade these markets. So I want to switch over to PowerX Optimizer, and I want to take a look at NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is a stock there where I was assigned at 195, so I sold puts, collected some premium, got assigned, and as we see right now, NVIDIA yesterday had a really strong run, so I was able to sell calls, and yesterday I was rolling calls. So I was rolling them into the next week because I got some really good premium here. So looking at the calculator, I got $3 in premium. Actually, I got $3.35 because I wanted to have the $2010. So this was my goal, as you can see, 77% annualized. So this is the order that I have in the market. So as you can see right now, I have NVIDIA shares, 600 shares. I did sell the calls against it. Let me just zoom in a little bit. And then I also have TPR. And this where we can take a look at TPR in a moment, but let's talk about NVIDIA. So what I like to do here, what we like to do is when we sell calls to buy them back at 90%.
Yeah, buying them back at 90% means that pretty much most of the value has left or is gone from the original credit. This allows us to close the trade and potentially initiate a new one if there's a nice rally.
Right. And I mean, for me, the easiest way is to do it right here out of PowerX Optimizer, because then I can click on the profit target. It immediately pre-fills the order to basically close it as a GTC order. And there's these 5 things that your broker needs to know from you when you place a trade. It's what do you want to trade? In this case, it is NVIDIA, an option. What is the expiration date? What is the strike price? Is it a call? What exactly do you want to do? We want to buy to close the number. So there's a lot of fields to fill out. And that's what I like about just having this automatically pre-populated, so that all I need to do here is click on preview and click on submit. And boom, there we go. Now the order is in the market. So this makes it easy. It's basically a 2-click approach.
Super easy.
Okay. Now, let's also talk about TPR. Oh, Hog. We got to talk about Hog. So Hog, we sold puts expiring today for 56% annualized. But then yesterday, we saw a lot of unusual option activity. That was super odd.
It really was. It really was. You noticed that with Hog trading about the same price that we put the trade on at on Wednesday, the options premium had actually increased, which is rare. Each day, the options premium in most situations would be decreasing. And then when we brought up an options chain, we saw a ton of volume at 2 strikes, one being ours, and no call volume. And that's very unusual.
Yeah, so I mean, we didn't know exactly what's happening. So we just decided to close it as a scratch trade because when in doubt, get out.
Yeah.
So that's where this was a break-even trade. So
I made a nickel.
You made a nickel?
But you
no cake for you. Okay, I got out there. So TPR also moving nicely towards the strike price. So we'll see if I can sell some calls here today. Let's see what the markets are doing after reacting here. And we can take another quick look here at the Nasdaq because, yeah, markets don't know yet what to think about this employment report, and we see it's still all over the place.
Yep.
So let's see if the indices can hang on to a winning week, or if there's a losing week. We will look for opportunities because right now we're pretty light here in the portfolio. So
Yep.
we'll see if the markets remain down that we can sell some more puts.
That's the plan.
Okay, fantastic. Well, so that's it for this week from Germany. As we said, next week we won't have a stock market update. Both of us are traveling, so we will see you again in Monday in a week, something like this. So have a great weekend. Have a great week. Make lots of money.
Yeah. Happy trading, everybody.